I just did it all wrong. Like the first time I ever built a portfolio of websites, I built more of a mess than a life that I wanted to create. I mean, I was traveling whilst running my businesses, which was super fun, but the businesses caused me more stress than I actually wanted. And it's all a learning experience, right? If I had to go through it again, I probably would. And I had to go through it to build what I've already built today. So the positives are that I can share my experience with you. So you can build a portfolio of passive income websites without making some of the mistakes that I made. So if you want a portfolio of passive income websites that fuel your dream life, please smash the like button. For those of you who do hit the like button, thank you so much for hitting it. I really do appreciate it. It helps me help more people. Through this video, you're going to learn a lot of cool things on how to buy websites and build that online business portfolio that's going to fuel your lifestyle that you're craving. But there's one thing that stuffs most people up when building a portfolio of sites, and that is not knowing when and when not to buy the next business, which I'm going to go into depth about towards the end of the video. So don't skip this critical piece of the puzzle, because this is where I stuffed up. So when building any portfolio, we should be starting with the end in mind. And there are 3 different types of portfolios that I'm going to explain for you that's going to help you understand which one may be best for you. So first and foremost, you've got very diversified, and then you've got all businesses being tied in together. Now, the pros and cons of these are that a very diversified portfolio of businesses that are not in the same niche and maybe not even in the same business model can have less risk because of diversification. But they can also earn less than, for example, a portfolio where all the businesses are in the same niche or similar niche and are tied in together, where they can actually leverage off each other to make more income. So the risk of this type of portfolio is that there is not much diversification since all the businesses are in the same or similar niche. That said, you can have a hybrid, of course, right? You can have maybe a few businesses that are tied in together, meaning they are in the same or similar niche and maybe even the same business model. And then maybe you have a few completely separate businesses in totally different niches and totally different business models. Personally, I think if you're new to this, it's worth starting out by taking a less risky approach and maybe have a few businesses in different niches until you become more confident about tying them in together and what that looks like, what that can look like for an exit as well. The next thing you need to consider is the duration of the businesses. So like, how long do you want to keep or own these businesses? Do you want to hold them for a long time? And if so, how long is long? Or do you want to sell them after a number of years? Or maybe even sometimes people love to flip them within 6 months. And do you want to sell them individually, or do you want to buy a bunch of them and roll them up as a package deal and sell them as a package deal? Now, a lot of questions, I know. I just went through so much. So I will repeat this because this really deserves your attention. Think about this. How long do you want to keep or own these businesses? Do you want to hold them for a long time? And if so, how long? Or do you want to sell them after a number of years? This is important to know. And if you are going to sell them, do you want to sell them individually or sell them as a package deal together? Now, personally, I find that the longer you want to hold a business, the better the ROI you can get for minimal work. Okay, so you can get better ROI for minimal work the longer you hold a business. And for those types of businesses, you want to make sure you are buying a business model that can be structured to be more passive than, let's say, that of an e-commerce business that has many, many moving parts and jobs. Now, this e-commerce businesses come in different sizes. You can be the head of an e-commerce business that's doing multiple $1 million and be very passive in the role. But to get to that point, there's many hats that need to be worn, and you may need to wear some of those hats until you can work yourself out of the business. So just a bit of a caveat there. So as you can tell, there are a lot of ways to structure a portfolio, and there is no right or wrong way. It just depends on how aggressive you want to build and how much income versus risk levels you want to take on, whilst also considering how long you want to own those businesses. And all of these things should really be considered before you go away and buy your first business if you're looking to build a portfolio. So think about it and start with the end in mind. If you need help, reach out. I'm happy to help you build a portfolio of well-structured businesses depending on your capital and your goals. The second thing is only buy one business at a time. Once you have an idea of what you want your dream portfolio to look like, what is the next step? Well, for most people, it's a terrible idea to just go out and buy as many businesses as you can really, really quickly. And I've done that and I've made money. But I also learned things from business number one after the fact that I bought business number two, which if I had have waited a bit longer for the second business, purchase that, I would have bought a better business for the goals that I actually had and the portfolio I wanted to build, because I would have learned more from business number one before even getting into business number two. So for example, if you have $200,000 to spend and want 4 websites for diversification, don't buy them all at once. Buy one, learn it, grow it, and get a feel for what you do and don't like about the business, so you can buy a better website for your second business, right? Something that's more in alignment of your lifestyle goals and your financial goals. They can get you a better structured portfolio based on what you've learned from business number one. Now, if you buy them too close together, right, you may rush into buying websites that you don't necessarily like. And this can be costly in terms, not just in terms of, lifestyle goals as well, but it can be costly in terms of your money and your time. So I learned this the hard way. Now, I've got a question. I have a lot more to share with you, but please let me know in the comments. How many businesses do you want to buy? And what type of online businesses are you looking at buying? Tell me a little bit about your portfolio that you're looking at building, because I'd love to create more content around that for you so you can have more success in that. So let me know in the comments below. What type of websites are you looking at buying? And what sort of portfolio are you looking at building? So the third thing is use the first business for leverage. So after you've bought your first business, use it for leverage when you're buying your second business. Let me give you an example. If you want to maximize income over diversification, and the first business you buy is, say, a content site in, say, the fishing niche, then maybe you buy your second business in a similar niche so you can send traffic and leads and all of that to those sites, which can earn you more affiliate revenue and ad revenue, or maybe even product sales, because you can push traffic from one site to the other. You can also cross-promote websites and cross-promote content and cross-promote email lists and promote things on one business's email list and promote other things on the other business's email list. And if you want to sell, you can sell the sites as a package deal because you've started to merge them in together and intertwine them. So there is a downside to this, being that if you want to keep just one of the websites and sell another, because they're so intertwined and heavily tied together and in similar niches, then that may not actually be very attractive for a new buyer because of the risk that they may carry if they only buy one. So it may be harder to sell just one, and it may be better for you to just sell a package deal. So on the other hand, if you want diversification, the second business you could buy may be the same business model, but in a completely different niche, right? But you can leverage the team and the assets of each business to use for each business, is what I mean. For example, if business number one is an e-commerce business selling fishing rods, if you bought another e-commerce business selling, say, basketballs, you could use the same team members for customer service, for order fulfillment, also for marketing. It's the same with the content site, is you could use the same sort of SEO consultants, you could use the same, maybe the same writers, you could use a lot of the same processes and systems that you're using on one content site with another one, right? So you can follow the same systems and processes and leverage those within each business you have. As you can see, there's a lot of creative ways you can do this, where you can save time and money by understanding how to leverage the businesses using the overall portfolio. In a second, I'm going to tell you the perfect time to buy your second business for your portfolio. But first, I want to thank our video sponsor, Odys Global. Odys is the world's leading marketplace for buying premium age domains with built-in SEO, as well as done-for-you affiliate site packages. Now, why am I telling you this? Because too many people would come to our space, try to make money online and start their own website businesses, and they fail because it's hard to build SEO. It's hard to build backlinks and get traffic to their websites, which if you don't have more than $10,000 to spend on an established business and you just don't know how to start one from scratch, you can go away and buy a premium age domain from Odys with built-in SEO to fast track your online business success. So go to odys.global and save $100 on any domain by using the code Jared100. Now, when should you buy more businesses? Like I mentioned earlier, I said not to buy all the businesses too close together, right? But when is the right time to buy the next business? business number 2 in your portfolio? And the answer is only once you've got the last business that you've bought actually growing and you've systemized the business and automated that growth process, and you're able to remove yourself and your dependency within the business. This way you can leave it with little attention and it will still grow without a lot of your time and energy. If you do make the purchase too early, then it just makes it harder for you to scale your portfolio. It makes you harder for you to scale both the businesses because you're juggling more balls. And the more balls you put in there, the easier it is to drop a few, right? So it also means less time you have as well. And this is critical too. Too many people don't fully remove themselves from the businesses and then want to buy more businesses and just end up putting more and more work on their plate. And personally, I just find this sad. I find it sad to see because this is the very reason most people want a portfolio of businesses is for cash flow and for time. But by doing this, they have no time. Maybe some cash, but having no time, in my opinion, is a lot worse. So please, please, please buy your second business only once you've got a systemized system, SOPs, an automated growth path strategy, and you started to remove yourself out of the business. Now, if you need help with that, then just reach out to me, see how I can help. I've helped a lot of people scale their business from 5 to 6 figures, 6 to 7, and even 7 to 8. Seriously, serious question here. I am very, very curious. Let me know in the comments below, how many businesses do you want to buy? What type of portfolio do you want to build? What type of businesses are you looking at purchasing, so I can create more content around that so you don't have to go through the same mistakes I have. YouTube watcher, what's up? It's Jared Krause here. And if you've watched this video up until now, please smash the like button. I'm glad you liked the video. And also thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you're doing really good. And I also want to ask you, please consider subscribing, because my commitment and exploration on YouTube is about to explode. Talking stories, polls, more amazing content, more surprise and delight, some humor in there as well. And this is the time to subscribe. So I hope you consider it, and I hope to see you on the next video.
Hey YouTube watcher, if you thought that video was good, you should check out this video here on the 2 best types of websites beginners should buy. Or check out my playlist on how I made my first 100K from buying websites and how to do due diligence. Check it out. It's an awesome playlist. You'll enjoy it.